Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to deal in what ifs. What ifs as far as foldables goes. Like, for example, what if Microsoft continued and made the Surface Duo 3? Would it be the king of foldables today? I think it would, but that's the dream world. Let's jump into reality and look at the new phones that are coming out today. Check out this diagram here. Here you've got the Z Fold 5 on top, and in the background I have the Pixel Fold as it is, and then the newer phones is going to be the Pixel Fold 2 and Z Fold 6. So here you see that's the actual size of the Z Fold, and then this is it closed. You can see the sizes matched up. So I believe all my sizes are right on and verified according to the leaks and rumors. Now let's jump to the computer and see what all this looks like. So as you can see here displayed on my screen, I have the different foldables that are available and what's coming in the next few months. And we'll start with from the front and work our way back. We've got the Z Fold 5, and of course, obviously we all seen this before. You got the dimensions as a 7.6 inch screen. All measurements are done at the diagonal. We've talked about this before on the channel. And the actual dimensions are 6.1 tall versus 5.11 wide. So it's taller than it is wide. And then when you have it closed, it's considered a 6.1, same height. But now it's 2.64 wide, which is quite narrow. And one of the funny thing is this being a 6.2 inch screen, which is the same as like your Samsung S24, you know, or your Pixel 8, or even the iPhone is 6.1. And what's interesting is this is a larger size, but when you compare them side by side, it's so narrow because the other phones are wider, like you see of the Fold here in the background. So the diagonal size doesn't always mean a lot, simply because it's the diagonal depending on the height. So you don't really get a lot of screen here on the Z Fold 5 on the front. It's hard to really do things as I've explained in other videos. So let's go ahead and let's go beyond that. And underneath the Z Fold 5 is the Pixel Fold, and you can see the Pixel Fold here is also a 7.6 inch screen, but because it's not as tall, but it's wider, being 6.2 inch wide versus 5.8 inch tall, it's still a 7.6 inch screen. Now, is the viewing the same? Not really. Even though the dimensions seem the same, the viewing is not the same, and we'll get to that here in a moment. And now the new phones, which is the Pixel Fold 2 and the Z Fold 6 that are coming out, they are actually the same size and dimension. And I'll leave links below so you can check it out. But these phones, when you actually work out the dimensions, they are the same size, and which is kind of odd. So I wouldn't be surprised if they came off the same minting machine and they just each stuck their own logo on them. But for now, all the leaks and rumors lean towards these being the exact same size. Now, for the Z Fold customer, Z Fold 5, you're getting a much wider screen. It's the same height you can see here, the 6.1 versus 6.1, but it's much wider when you compare that up to that orange one. Look at the width. And you can see that here in the front screen too. If you put these together, it's going to be quite a bit wider. It may not seem like much, but it's going to be a huge difference because this is a 6.4 inch screen versus a 6.2. So 6.4 is actually wider or larger than your, of course, Samsung S24 and standard iPhones. There's another phone out called the Samsung S23 FE, which is the same size as these dimensions, the 6.4. So if you happen to have an S23 FE, that's the size of the Fold or the Z Fold when they are folded up. So that's going to be a standard size phone, which I'm looking forward to rather than dealing with this small 6.2 inch screen because it can be difficult and annoying. Now let's take a look at the Pixel Fold and see what the customers are in for on their changes. Unfortunately, theirs is not going to change quite as positively as I think they might see. For example, you can see right here the front screen's not as wide. It's not as wide. 3.1 versus 3.03, very close. It could be that the bezel is smaller on the new Z Fold 2, so you may not even lose as much as you might think. however, you can see is a little bit more narrow, but to me, going from this to that is great. So I don't think that you're losing a whole lot there. Plus you are getting a taller screen, and that's why it's actually going from 5.8 inch screen to a 6.4 inch screen. That's a pretty huge difference. Now when we look over here at it open is incredible. If you open up the Pixel Fold or the Z Fold 6, it's an 8.2 inch screen is what the Pixel Fold 2 rumors bring us, but the Z Fold 6 rumors tell us it's a 7.9 whatever size screen. There's a little discrepancy between the two. However, I think that might just be actually the border or the bezel. Maybe it's smaller on the Pixel Fold than it will be on the Z Fold 6. Who knows? Now let's talk aspect ratio. The aspect ratio when you're watching a video here, you've got a wider screen here at a 6.2 just at the natural setting of the Pixel. And what does that mean for the Pixel? So I got a video down here. Let's go ahead and bring it up and let's give us a representation of if we're looking at the interior screen and watching a video. I can get close here. It's being kind of finicky getting the exact size, but that's close. So that's what we're looking at when we're watching it widescreen. I think that's the biggest aspect ratio we're gonna get. So on the Pixel Fold, if you're watching a video, that's where you get the largest video. Now we're talking point inches, not an inch. It's barely gonna be a difference. For example, let's go ahead and move this out of the way. And as you can see, if we turn that, it's still not gonna fit. So we're gonna get a smaller video. What does that mean? That means we're gonna get larger bars, larger black bars on it. So the new Pixel Fold is not gonna improve the video viewing, which is kind of disappointing. Now, is it a big difference with the Z Fold? Well, let's see. The Z Fold, I don't know what's happening with my arrows, but just ignore those. The Z Fold, of course, it won't fit. And if we turn it this way, look at that, it fits on the Z Fold 5. Didn't have to change the size. It fits on the Z Fold 5. And matter of fact, you have the least amount of bars on the current Z Fold 5. So as you can see, it doesn't matter which way you turn the new Pixel Fold 2 or the Z Fold, the black bar is going to be a lot bigger. Now, of course, on all these, you can always stretch out the video to go full screen, but then it'll cut out some of the video. Say if you went full screen on this, you would cut out quite a bit of video to make it go full screen. And then the aspect ratio gets really weird. So there you have it. One last time, bring in the Pixel Fold. Currently, Pixel Fold, you actually have less bars than you will on the new one. So the new one's gonna have the largest amount of black bars than the rest of them. So now here's something I wanna look at real quick. Let's check this out. What if we brought in the Pixel here? Okay, it doesn't fit on the Pixel here as full screen. You would have to shrink it down. But again, it's almost the same size as if the Pixel were folded. So let's check this out. Maybe with the Pixel Fold 2, you're going to get the best viewing on the front screen. Look at this. Look at that. You're going to get the best viewing on the Pixel Fold 2 or the Z Fold 2 on the main screen without black bars. So let's make this fit the Pixel, the new Pixel here. Okay, there we go. And we're going to have bars on the side, and then on the current Pixel, the least amount of bars. So there you have it. I hope I haven't confused you any, but now we can see that I don't know and see or understand a whole lot of improvement with the new Pixel Fold and the Z Fold 6. Those dimensions, are they really making any sense? Other than maybe apps will fit them better? We won't truly know until we get one in hand and try them out. So as you can see, when we look at all those aspect ratios, are they really going to make a difference with the size? I don't think so, unless you happen to be a Z Fold owner and you're tired of the small screen. Then getting a normal size screen is going to feel really good. So you can just imagine it being a little bit wider, even with the S24, is better in the hand and better to text with than this Z Fold narrow screen. So I think the Z Fold users are in for the biggest treat on the size difference. I don't know as far as the Pixel owners if they're going to really love the change, because it just really doesn't seem to be that much. Now the final question to ask, do you upgrade to a Z Fold 6 or a Pixel Fold 2? Well, the answer to that question is going to be in whether you're used to the Pixel devices or the Samsung devices. If you like the Samsung and you're used to the Samsung devices, you probably want to stay with those, simply because Samsung is going to have the faster chip, having the Snapdragon versus the Tensor chip in the Pixel Fold. However, if you're used to the Pixel phones and you don't mind the Tensor chip being a little bit slower than the Snapdragon, then you may want to go with that. And there's one final caveat to these foldables. When it comes to the Z Fold 6, there are rumors that they're going to come out with an economic model. What that means, we really don't know. Maybe it won't have the capability for the pen. Maybe they won't do the larger screen. Maybe it's going to be the standard size with lesser cameras. But the rumor is it's going to start out at $800. So that's going to put a lot of people into the foldable market at $800 entry level for a nice foldable. And then apparently Samsung's going to come out with their Ultra on their foldable, or whatever we want to call it, their Foldable Plus, their Z Fold 6 Plus, who knows what they're going to name it. And it's going to have the larger size and the better features. For this reviewer, it's going to come down to whoever puts the better cameras in there. I'm not going to deal with a lesser camera in a foldable anymore. And who knows, maybe I'll just stick with the Z Fold 5. Nah, who are you kidding? I'm going to get one of those phones. Who knows which one it'll be yet? I don't know. We need to see these. I can't wait for the keynotes. So stick around. As we learn more, I'll share more. Thank you for watching and being part of the channel. If you really got something out of this video today, please smash that like button down below. And while you're there, subscribe if you haven't already. And please leave a comment if you have questions about this, or if you have more input that I haven't seen. Let me know down in the comments. And one more thing, I've been forgetting my tagline. If you've never tried a foldable, you've got to try it. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and God bless.